Welcome to the Daily Revision Morning Show. I am your host, Lysandra Everett, and I am excited to be here. When you hop on, let me know who you are and where you're from so I can give you a shout out and say good morning and thank you for spending your time with me, even if you're watching the replay. Let me know who you are so I can say hello to you. I am going to share this out. My cup. I'm having some peach tea this morning. I love some peach tea, hot or cold. I am from Georgia, so tea is a way of life. Okay, wait a minute. My technology is having a moment. Hey, Shantae, good morning. Okay, I don't know why I'm not working, but we're going to give it about 2 seconds. You know my patience, the way my patience is set up. Some folks might just have to catch this on the replay for real, and it just won't make it. But for those of you tuning in, when you tune into my show, you're going to hear me talk about a wide range of topics, mainly covering just life stuff. We'll talk about business stuff, leadership, and tax stuff. Woo! I can't even get my tongue out, just out of my way this morning. I am coming back from a very long but busy and fantastic weekend. And, that's just it. So, but when you pop on, that's what you're going to hear about. Every Tuesday is Tax Tuesday, and every Friday is Q&A Friday. And I'm usually here Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. So if I'm not here 9 o'clock right on the dot, don't sue me. I'll be there shortly. Okay, so make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss anything. And I don't know why my notification is not, my own live is not showing up on Facebook. So we're just gonna keep it moving, and I'll just have to share it later because I'm not here all day. Hey, Clarence, it's so good to see you. Okay, so today's topic is the F word. And which F word are we talking about? Fear. Okay, why am I talking about fear? Okay, so this weekend, my family went to Busch Gardens, and my son, I don't know where I kind of do. He gets his daredevil thing from, but he rode every thrilling roller. He rode 5 of the 6. My daughter and I rode one of the thrillers. He rode the other 5. And it's funny because he's, let a fly be in the room and he'll turn backflips to get out of the way, but he'll go jump on a roller coaster in a heartbeat. I do not understand this child. But it really's got me to thinking about fear. And one of the things that, I'm just kind of over is all the cute acronyms that we have for fear. Hey, Kim, good morning. We've got all these cute acronyms. I'm going to read some to you. There's false evidence appearing real, fantasized experiences appearing real, forget everything and run, forgetting everything is all right. So there's all these really cute acronyms for fear, but none of them really explain what fear really is, what you can do about it, and why it happens. And so that's what I'm here to do today, because once you really know what you're dealing with, then we can make some intelligent decisions. I'm all about making intelligent decisions. Okay. So fear comes from an old English word that I couldn't even write, and I don't even know if I would even pronounce it right, so I'm not going to try, but it's an old English word meaning danger. So fear was historically meant to keep us alive. So we had fears about being an hors d'oeuvre or a main course, right? Or we were afraid of eating something that might kill us when we were on this planet and the world was new. We didn't necessarily know what, if we were going to eat something and fall over or eat something and, grow bigger. We didn't know. Okay. So that's what fear is for. Fear was meant to keep us alive. It is our body's way of preparing for defense. So what is our body's response to fear, where lots of things happen. Your heart rate goes up. You start breathing quickly. You start sweating. All of the blood, and you've heard me talk about this before, all of the blood goes and oxygen goes to your large muscle groups because you hear about the fight or flight response. That's what this is. The fear part is more on the flight side because you're trying to preserve your life. So that's what happens. And so when all of that shifting happens, then we become more aware. We have a heightened awareness of everything around us. The sights that we see, our visual acuity goes up. We listen to sounds that aren't supposed to be there. We look for smells. Something doesn't smell right. This was our body's response to preserve our lives. And all that happened in the amygdala. The amygdala is this little almond-shaped thing that's been in our bodies forever and ever and ever, and is the oldest and most archaic parts of our brain. This up here is newer stuff. This amygdala thing, that's been there forever. And so what happens is then when we have these fearful events, then the amygdala stores that when it has that emotional attachment to it. The amygdala stores that to be used later on, so that when you come up on it again, you know, okay, no, we're not doing that because this is what happened the last time. It's not always healthy, but it was designed to keep us alive. It was designed so that we knew that if we went to a cave, there might be some fierce creature living there. So in the future, when we come up on a cave, we're not going in because something might be living there. Okay. We might not eat that red berry because Joe fell over when he ate the red berry. Okay. So this is what the amygdala does for us. It has its purpose. Now, here's the thing. We have evolved, but our threat center is still there. Okay. That part doesn't go away, but our world has evolved. And what happens too is, let me also explain this too. What happens too with the fear is that once the fear is gone, the danger is gone, then our bodies are supposed to go back to normal. That's how this is supposed to work. But right now, if you look at our current events are playing on our fears like fiddles, okay? Because now we have a heightened awareness about anything. Somebody makes a false move, then there's something wrong, right? We're looking for the wrong thing. And that's actually what the amygdala does. It's the threat center. It is always looking for danger. If you're always looking for danger, you're always walking around afraid. If you're always walking around afraid, you're not thinking. And you're not thinking because all the brain, this is your reasoning center up here in the front, the prefrontal cortex. All of the blood leaves that area and goes to other muscle groups. Okay. So there's no thinking and reasoning going on. So that's what fear ultimately does. It ultimately takes away our rational thinking. You know how in the Bible it says God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind, because you cannot be afraid and have a sound mind at the same time. Go figure. Okay, so you think about this. How does this look in everyday life? So imagine, you know how when you do something when you're really nervous, and when you go back 2 hours later when you're calm and you look back and say, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Why did I say that? What was I thinking? Well, the truth is that you really weren't thinking. You were nervous. And so you weren't thinking at all. You were in that fight or flight response. So, even though we still have this threat center, our threats are not the same. We really don't have to worry about if something's gonna eat us. But we still have those things in our lives that scare us. So then, now that we know that fear was designed to keep us alive, we can really start to look at fear differently and start to behave differently, because we know that fear is an emotional response. It is a natural response. However, now that we know that what it was designed for, we can now make some different decisions, because the fear is going to happen. However, our response to that fear can now be handled totally and completely differently. Let me take a drink, guys, because I'm feeling kind of scratchy this morning. So now, so when you're thinking about fear, know that fear is preparing you to defend yourself against something, something that hasn't happened yet, something that's unknown. So you're preparing, but you don't know for what. Okay. So, but one thing that we can be sure of is that whatever you're afraid of isn't going to eat you. It's probably not going to kill you. Now, I will say that there are some things in this life, like skydiving or something. Yeah, you can have a healthy fear of that, because if something goes wrong, yeah, you're not going to make it. Okay, so, but we're just talking about normal everyday life things. When we are, starting new relationships, whether we're going for a new job or a promotion or anything like that, a lot of times we get afraid, but we really don't understand why the fear exists. What is it that we're afraid of? So what I challenge you to do is, the next time you're afraid to do something, really write out what you are afraid of. What do you think is going to happen? So let's just say you want to get a promotion, or you want to apply for a new job, but you're afraid. So write that down. I want to apply for this job, but I'm afraid of this. Really write that out. And then once you realize, one, that no matter what it is, it's not going to kill you, because even if you don't get the job, it's not going to kill you. So everything else is gravy. Okay. We know that old adage, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. Okay. Well, yeah, it does, because it may not go the way that you want. However, you can learn from that. You can learn from the rejection part. We just talked about that last week. What is the learning experience from it? Okay. So then, but once you know what you're afraid of, then here's the next step. Information, knowledge, and advice helps you reduce your fear. So when you're afraid of something, you're afraid of tackling something, let's go get some information. Let's go research some stuff. What does that promotion require? Do you have those requirements? If the answer is yes, okay, awesome. If the answer is no, okay, I need to go get some of this, and some of this. All right. So you've got some information to help you reduce your fear. Let's talk about knowledge. Okay. Let's go seek out somebody else that's done what you want to do. Let's go seek out somebody that has a similar position. Hey, what does this job entail? What did you have to do to get it? What kind of skills, requirements? What did you have that made you a fit for this particular job? See, once you start getting some knowledge and advice, you get a mentor who's done these things, then you can start to alleviate those fears. So then when you decide, okay, now is the time for me to apply, because I've checked off all of these boxes, I've gotten this advice, I've changed this or that or the other, whatever that looks like, now you can go forward. You might still be afraid, but you definitely have more confidence, because you've gotten some information that you didn't have before. You're smarter than you were when you first started out. Okay. So get the information. Google knows everything. Well, almost everything, right? Some of this y'all know, because if it's on the internet, it's true. But really, go do your research, go get you some knowledge, go read some books about what you want to do. That's the kind of thing that's going to help you alleviate the fears. Okay. Well, I don't mean alleviate, I mean reduce, because we're still going to feel the fear. And Susan Jeffers said, feel the fear and do it anyway. But when you are armed with information and knowledge, then you can go forward in courage. Okay. So, when you follow the footsteps of people that have done the things that you want to do, it can be done. Okay. It can be done. That's the first thing. Can it be done? Yes, it can. Okay. And so then you go make your own moves, right? So, you got to focus on the feelings that you want to feel. Focus on what you want to experience. What did Paul say? Keep your eye on the prize. You think about all that you have to gain instead of what you may potentially lose. Because here's the thing. Fear and faith cause you have to believe in the unseen and the unexperienced. They require you to believe in the same thing. But you have to make the decision on which one is going to rule your life. Is it going to be fear that will paralyze you and keep you where you are because you are preparing for something that has not happened yet? Or will you go forward in faith, which is courage, that's whatever you want to do, you still have not seen or experienced yet? So you've got to decide. The choice is really up to you. Fear and faith cannot reside in the same space. It just can't. I think about the story of when Jesus threw with the demons, and he threw the herd of pigs into the ocean, the sea, or whatever, the lake, and they died. So now, if you're the pig farmer that day, it was not a good day for you if you were the pig farmer, okay? However, but it says that the people in the village were afraid of his power because he commanded the things that he allowed to happen in his life. Power, love, and a sound mind. Okay? So we have that same power. We have the power to command what we will allow in our lives. You have the power to command if fear will reside in your life, because it says that the people were afraid. They were afraid of all this stuff that it hadn't even happened yet, that they did not even think about what they could possibly gain by learning from Jesus and the power that he had within him. So when you come up on your fears, and I'm going to leave you with this. When you come upon your fears, I want you to really take a moment and take a deep breath. Slow yourself down. And I want you to really ask yourself, what is it that I'm afraid of? Then the next question I want you to ask yourself is it going to kill me? Whatever you think is going to happen, is it going to kill you? If the answer is no, then it's all uphill from there. Then go arm yourself with knowledge, information, get advice from other people who have done what you want to do. And then feel the fear and do it anyway. And we all have them. Fear is a natural response. Everybody is afraid at some point in their lives. If anybody ever tells you they're never afraid, they are lying. Okay? I have fears. I've been afraid. There are some days I'm afraid to get on here and do this thing, but I'm doing it anyway because I said I will be here Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. Okay? Fear always presents itself as true or truth. That's right. But you really have nothing to base the fear on. Here's the thing. If it hasn't happened to you, you really have no basis for your fear. Okay? Because, lots of things can happen. Anything can happen in the negative as well as in the positive. So do it anyway. I mean, look, again, I look at my son. My son is crazy. Y'all, he went and got on these roller coasters. This one called the Loch Ness. It had 800 loop-de-loops and swoops. And I'm sitting there going, I had breakfast 3 hours ago. I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that. But you know what? But I want him to be able to take calculated risks. And if I stop him now to say, no, we're not going to go get on that roller coaster because it's got this and that and the other. And we've seen people get stuck and all that. Yeah, we've seen all of that stuff happen. Is it possible that could happen to one of us on these roller coasters? Absolutely. But I'm not we'll worry about that if we get stuck. Hi, Latasha. Good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. So listen, guys, that's all I have for it today. But like I said, all of these cute little acronyms about fear, miss me with all that. I'm done with that because I really want us to be educated about what it is that we're truly dealing with. Because a lot of times we have people that, give you half truth personal development stuff. I ain't a half truth kind of girl. I like to know exactly what I'm dealing with. And so I want to share that with you. So when you are feeling afraid, you know that you can stop and have some rational thought to face your fears and make your best concerted effort to move forward anyway. Okay, you might find out, okay, you know what? I need to go back and get some skills. That's not being fearful, that's being smart. So you're not changing the goal, you're just changing how you negotiate the obstacle. Okay, so yeah, the cute little acronyms, I'm done. Now you know what fear is. Let's be smart about how we deal with our fears and move forward. Don't get stuck in paralysis, because you know how in the movies when you see people especially if you watch scary movies, how people do dumb stuff in scary movies. Well, this is why, because they're not thinking. They're afraid. And when you become afraid, then you're not thinking rationally. So that's why they run into the closet when you know the guy is there. Okay, so listen, thank you so much. Again, I am here Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. Make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss anything. And if you get some value from this, make sure to leave me a comment and share this with somebody. They might need it today. Okay, so thanks a lot. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.